Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today in this video we are going to see how to assemble a Yamaha Rx 135 engine. This video is a part of a restoration series that I have started of Yamaha Rx 135. So if you want to follow the restoration series, I will link the playlist to the restoration series in the I button, so you can check that. Also, if you want to know how I have disassembled the engine, I will link that video also in the I button and also provide the link in the description box below, so you can check there also. So in this video we'll just see how to properly assemble the engine. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing and also press the bell icon so that you can get notified every time I upload a video. So now let's start with the video, but first. So now we will start assembling the engine. Now the first thing we will do, we will insert the bearing, crank bearing here. To press the crank bearing, we have to place this crankcase flush to the table surface. But while doing that, this dowel is coming in the way. Because of this dowel, this is not sitting flush with the surface. So we will remove this dowel and then we will press the crank bearing. Before pressing the bearing, just lubricate this surface. This is the bearing. The bearing number is 6304C3. We'll also lubricate the bearing. Hit the bearing with the hammer evenly so that it goes nice and square with the surface, and press it till it is flush with the crankcase surface. Now we will press the oil seal. This is the oil seal. Also one thing, don't forget to put back the dowel which you removed. This dowel also fell from this side. So this dowel is from here. This is the magneto side. So this is the bearing for the magneto side. The bearing number is 6205. So this is the part where the bearing number is inscribed. So I'm keeping it towards me. The bearing number is 6304. Now we will press the oil seals. There is a dowel here, so I will just adjust my wooden planks. So now it is stable. This is the oil seal for the magneto side. This oil seal you won't get in the oil seal kit, so you have to purchase that separately. I have elevated the crankcase enough so that we can install the crankshaft. So this is the crankshaft. This side of the crankshaft goes in here. This is the magneto side. So as you can see, the crankshaft is properly seated in its position. So now we can start assembling the gearbox. So in the gearbox there are basically two shafts. One is the main shaft. The main shaft is connected to the clutch housing. This is where the clutch will fit in. And second is the drive axle. The drive axle is connected to the small chain sprocket. This is where the small chain sprocket will fit in. On either of these shafts there are some gears which are free to rotate, like this. These gears are free to rotate on the shaft, and 1 and 2, these are called dog clutches. These dog clutches are splined to this shaft, so when this dog clutch rotates, it rotates the shaft also. And on the main shaft, this gear and this gear is fixed to the main shaft. This gear is free to rotate, and this is the dog clutch. This dog clutch, as you can see, is splined to the main shaft. So now in the gearbox, these two shafts are assembled likewise. So now let's see how the gearing works. This is the first gear, second gear, third gear and fourth gear. When we actually shift into first gear, we shift this dog clutch to this side, and this engages, as you can see, into first gear. So this is where the clutch is. The power will come from here to this gear to the first gear, and via the dog clutch, as these two are engaged, via the dog clutch to the main shaft and to the sprocket. So now the second gear, while we shift into second gear, this dog clutch will move here, and this dog clutch will engage into this gear. So now power will come from here to this gear to second gear to the dog clutch, and dog clutch to the sprocket. Third gear is when we shift this dog clutch to this side, and this dog clutch will engage to this third gear. The power will come from here to this dog clutch to the third gear via this dog clutch, transfer power to the small sprocket, and this is how we will get third gear. So now the fourth gear, this dog clutch will move here in the middle. So this dog clutch is neither engaged with this gear or this gear, and this dog clutch will engage with fourth gear. So now power will come from here to dog clutch to the fourth gear to this dog clutch, and this dog clutch to the sprocket, and this is how we will get fourth gear. So this is how the gearing works basically, and the power is transferred from gear to gear. Now the shifting of these dog clutches is done by these shift forks. These are called shift forks. Two shift forks here, one shift fork here, and the shift fork operate via this cam. So this is the cam where there are 3 tracks made. This track and this track is for first, second and third gear, which which operate these two shift forks, and the middle track is for 4th gear, which operates this shift fork. So this is the overall working of the gearbox. So now that is understood, let's assemble the gearbox. The two bigger shift forks are for the drive axle, that is for the 1st, 2nd and 3rd gear, and the small shift fork is for the 4th gear, that is for the main shaft. These are the two guide bars. The longer one is for the left side, that is for the drive axle, and the shorter one is for the right side, that is for the main shaft. Now to assemble a cam, we'll first set aside the guide bars and the shift forks so that we can insert the cam. Now insert the shift forks in their respective tracks. This shift fork goes into the middle track and these two shift forks into the either sides. Now we will check that everything is working. So this is the 1st gear, second gear, 3rd gear, and the 4th gear also. Perfect. So now we can put the other half of the crankcase.